If you're new here, my name is Nikki. Welcome to my channel where we get nerdy. So typically, I do book hauls in my weekly updates as I get them. However, if you've been here for a bit, you've noticed I haven't been doing my weekly updates. And it boils down to my month of February has been, I wouldn't even say chaotic. My world has been on fire. And so no reading has been done. No weekly updates have been filmed. All the videos you have got this month have been pre-recorded, and I just scheduled them to upload. So, yeah, that's my life right now. But right now, so it's obviously a haul. You know, title, thumbnail gives that away. I have my 6 books from the reading challenge, the blindfold book cover challenge with my sons, and then I have 2 from Valentine's Day. So I'll get started on that. They're all piled right here, so you can't really see them. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plus 6 is 13. I have 13, but holy crap. Okay, you'll see one of them. I count as 1 for a reason. So, first book we have is The Furies of Calderon, Book 1 of Codex Alera by Jim Butcher. So, funny story about this book is Jim Butcher had a drunken bet with a friend that he could not combine the Lost Roman Legion and Pokemon. And Jim Butcher said, bet. He not only combined them, he wrote, I want to say, a 6-book series of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he wrote a 6-book series combining the Lost Roman Legion and Pokemon. Normally, I don't like mass market paperback, but this is literally all you can get them in right now, and she's thick. I say I don't like mass market paperback, but I'm starting to get to the point where they are so much cheaper than everything else. Oh goodness, I'm trying to figure out how many. 653 pages. So, she little thick. Next, I have Almond by Won Pyung-sun. I think this is a book that was recommended by not only RM, but Suga and J-Hope of BTS. And I was kind of, curious about what this book was about. I found it by Barnes & Noble, and the back of it it's intriguing. Yoon-jae was born with a brain condition called alexithymia that makes it hard for him to feel emotions like fear or anger. He does not have friends, but his devoted mother and grandmother provide him with a safe and contented life. But everything changes when a shocking act of random violence shatters his world, leaving him alone and on his own. Struggling to cope with his loss, Yoon-jae retreats into silent isolation with troubled teenager Gon. The two form a surprising bond when Gon suddenly finds his life at risk. Yoon-jae will have to step outside every comfort zone he has ever created to perhaps become the hero of his own story. So, I'm intrigued, for sure. It's translated, and I have been in such a mood for translated stuff right now. So it's 250 pages. I can handle that. No problem. I'm liking the short books lately. Next, we have Agatha Christie, Murder on the Orient Express. So I know that this is a movie. I watched Death on the Nile the other day with Gal Gadot and some other actors. It was recently made into a film, and I absolutely loved it. I was so intrigued. normally I can pick how they go, the storyline. Like, I figure out who done it way before, hence why I don't normally like reading mysteries and thrillers. But I didn't catch it, so I'm like, all right, maybe Agatha Christie is someone I should read more from. So I picked up this one because I know it's a movie, and I want to read it and then watch the movie kind of thing. Let's see. 265 pages. Again, a nice short one. I'm totally for the short ones lately. Oh, and Leon dropped something. One moment. So, back to what I was saying. That Agatha Christie. Next, I have The Murder of Roger Ackroyd by Agatha Christie. So, the Barnes & Noble I live near and that I used to work at, the store manager, Diane, swears by Agatha Christie. Like, has read everything Agatha Christie has ever written, absolutely loves her. So I asked Diane, I said, I'm interested in the Poirot, I think is how you say his name, mysteries. Which one do you recommend? And she recommended this one. Roger knew too much. He knew that the woman he loved had poisoned her brutal first husband. He suspected also that someone had been blackmailing her. Then tragically came the news that she had taken her own life with an apparent drug overdose. Interesting. So, there's more in there. But I don't want to read too much because I don't want to spoil it. You know, that's the downside to a lot of synopsises. They can tend to spoil books. And then another piece of translated work, but this time not fiction. It just happened to be, I was walking through Barnes & Noble and I'm just like, ooh, that looks interesting. And it is called Black Box by Shiori Ito, the memoir that sparked Japan's Me Too movement. The internationally recognized sexual assault memoir that sparked a movement against rape, stigma, and silence in Japan. So, there's really not much you can say. But I'm in such a mood lately for nonfiction and short books that it's bananas. Like, I have been trying to consume all the short books I can. I absolutely love nonfiction anyways, but now that this year I'm doing the I need to read for me, not what I think I have to read in order for, BookTube, I'm staying more true to myself, and that's going to be more memoirs and nonfiction, most likely. I say that, but the next chunk of books are all fantasy. But they're more, so there's two of them that are Valentine's for my husband. Like, we went to Barnes & Noble and he just grabbed 2 books and thought there was something I would like. But before we get there, so these were all the prizes for the Blindfold Book Cover Challenge. I have my one last prize. So it's technically more than one book. It's a series. It's a box set. However, the little the price says $83.99, and when I saw it on sale on Amazon for $37, you're betting I bought the whole thing. So we have the entire Mortal Instruments from Cassandra Clare. So we have City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, and City of Heavenly Fire. So for a bit there, this is heavy. My husband and I were watching the Shadowhunters show, and he and I were both thoroughly enjoying it. And I'm like, I really need to give the book series a try. But I am one that would prefer to do chronological. I'm one that likes to read chronologically. So for Christmas, I got, Clockwork Angel, because it's the first book in Infernal Devices, and it's apparently, all the way back in the beginning of the Shadowhunter story. But then I was on BookTube, and apparently if you read it chronologically, you're spoiling other books for yourself. So that was a pain in the butt. And so I went on Facebook into a book group I belong in and said, all right, I want to read this world, but Show Clary drives me absolutely insane. So can I read Infernal Devices or the Dark Artifices? Something like that, without having to read this. And they said, well, one, Show Clary is terrible. Book Clary is way better. So I'm like, okay, that helps. And then they posted a website where Cassandra Clare actually wrote out what is the best order to read her books in. So it's like, it starts off with a couple of these, and it goes to a different one, then it comes back to these. It goes, like, you're jumping all over the Shadowhunter world and series, but it's the way to do it that you're not going to spoil yourself for other things by sitting and reading all of one series than all of the other, if that makes sense. Which I can post down below the website if anybody's interested. So these are my 6 books from the Blindfold Book Cover Challenge. And then for Valentine's Day, I dropped a bookmark. The first one my husband picked up is The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. You good? We got a teething baby, and he's munching on a teether right now, and apparently it's got bones, because we got the coughs now. Teething is not fun, and just so you know. So we have Shadow of the Gods, the first book in the Bloodsworn. I think it's only a duology. I think Bloodsworn is only a duology. Oh, nope, sugar. It's a trilogy. Alright, but anyways, so we got Shadow of the Gods. Legends tell of the great long ago battle of the gods. From master storyteller John Gwynne comes a Norse-inspired epic of blood and vengeance. My husband picked this up because he thought the cover was badass. Read the back and said, "Yup, you're getting it." I kind of think he has an ulterior motive here so that he can read it. Yeah, you see the TBR books from this month that I never read. And then last book, we left the fantasy and walked over towards YA, because he knows I like reading YA because it's calming for me, I guess. Like, it's not, I don't have to think super hard like with some of the epic high fantasies I have to think about, except Witchlands, but that's because Susan Dennard just wants us to not know what's going on. You agree, Leon? Me too. Yeah, if you only knew. So he picked up Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian. I had shelved this book plenty of times when I worked at Barnes & Noble, and I never paid attention to it. Like, I was like, oh, that's a pretty cover, but I never, like, actually read the synopsis. And then my husband read it, and he's like, yeah, this is a Nicole book. And then he realized that there was more in the series, and so it took him a minute to figure out where do we technically start. Oh, really? Princess Prison. Are you gonna tell stories too? Leon, you're just full of it today. Okay, we good? Princess, Prisoner, Orphan, Rebel. Theodosia was 6 when her country was invaded and her mother, the Fire Queen, was murdered before her eyes. On that day, the Kaiser took her family, her land, and her name. Theo was crowned Ash Princess, a title of shame to wear in her new life as a prisoner. For 10 years, Theo has been a captive in her own palace. Then one night, the Kaiser forces her to do the unthinkable. With blood on her hands and all the hope of reclaiming her throne lost, she realizes that surviving is no longer enough. And she does have a weapon. Her mind is sharper than any sword. For 10 years, the Ash Princess has seen her land pillaged and her people enslaved. All that ends here because power isn't always won on the battlefield. Okay. I'm intrigued. You got me. Apparently my husband does know me. Dang it. And it's 433 pages. So still, not that super chunky. I think if this was a mass market paperback, it would be bigger than the Codex Alera. Oh, there's a pronunciation guide. So 478 pages with a pronunciation guide and glossary. So that's good to know. I'll still mispronounce everything. So those are my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8/11 books that I have gotten this month. So I probably will not be hauling any books the next few weekly updates, but hey, that's okay. If this is the first time you are seeing my videos, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, please also hit that thumbs up. Comment down below anything you would like to talk about. These books, not these books. Leave me an emoji. Just let me know you were here. Either way, let's chat. So, until next time, you are loved and you are valid.